Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and today we're going to be discussing a very controversial topic, especially given the season that we're in. Hey guys, it's cold and flu season, so they say, and I want to break some myths today, helping you to understand there's no such thing as cold and flu season. And also let you know that we are going to give you all of the advice and tips that we give using functional medicine, holistic healthcare, etc., on how to combat the flu season. And I want to start by letting you all know that if you pay attention to all the ads and all of the banners and all of the stuff that we see in grocery stores and shopping centers, it's nothing but flu shot, flu shot, flu shot. And it's so bad that you're even starting to see them like, hey, if you get your flu shot, we'll give you 10% or 15% off your groceries. Now, I just want you to think for a second. That should raise a red flag alarm if they have to entice you to get this thing that's supposed to be so great that they have to give you free stuff in order for you to even get it. It should wake you up to the reality. You know, I read this thing on Facebook. It says, the reason the mouse dies isn't because the trap works. It's because they don't realize why the cheese is free. So if you think about it, you got a mouse trap, it's baited with cheese. Get it baited with cheese so that it, and so like the mouse dies simply because he doesn't realize the reason the cheese is free. I want you to let that sit in. The reason the flu shot is free, if you don't understand the reason, you'll take the bait and, man, it gets you. So the challenge is this. Yes, there is the flu virus, but there's no difference between the flu virus now and the flu virus in June, okay? I have to break apart this myth of this thing called the flu season because technically there's no such thing as the flu season. What there is the season of destruction and disarray, and I'll just call it mayhem towards your immune system, called Thanksgiving through New Year's. Let's just put it that way. All right? There's a couple things that happen that's very important of why more people get the flu during the fall and winter than in the summer. Is it possible to get the flu in the summer? Yes, and it happens to quite a lot of people. But is it also possible to get in the winter? Yeah, but not because it's some ominous flu season and the flu's just flying around going, how do I get you and how do I attack you because it's cold outside? Okay, number one, what just happened a couple weeks ago? Yeah, the time changed. And we know that because of this time change, it's dark when we wake up and it's dark before we even leave the office. I think I saw on my phone once the sunset was at 4:45 p.m. in the afternoon. I mean, that alone causes wreaking havoc on your immune system for several reasons. Number one, there's not a lot of sunlight. And right now, the earth has shifted and it's cold because we're no longer getting the UVB rays we need for vitamin D. So what happens during this time frame, guys? Well, vitamin D levels drop. And here's the amazing thing. D3 is your immunity. So if your vitamin D levels go down, your immune system goes down, and you're more likely to catch any sort of a common cold. Okay? Number two, we eat more sugar and carbohydrates and laden foods during this holiday block than we do for the entirety of the full, 9 months before that. All right, so from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's to all the birthdays and the celebrations in between, this is the time Americans literally drink booze like crazy, alcohol content goes up, sugar content goes up, stress goes up, financial worry goes up. It's just the onslaught of booze. And that's why the flu season happens now more so than anywhere else. Let me give you a couple miserable failures behind this thing called the flu shot, because a lot of people are still like, oh, I should get the flu shot. First of all, it is considered to be a miserable failure, especially for those over the age of 50. And here's why. There are 200 known flu viruses, yet the shot at the most is targeting maybe 3. 4 if you're lucky, and that's only based upon a guess. It's kind of like, imagine having 200 dice in your hand, rolling them, picking 3 and being like, these are the ones that are going to attack everyone this year. I mean, it's a crapshoot, literally. Okay, so flu shots never truly target the flu of the season because the flu mutates year after year after year. Many flu shots also contain mercury, it's thimerosal, formaldehyde, a documented carcinogen, and they're often cultured inside chicken eggs. So they grow the virus inside unfertilized chicken eggs. And if you have an egg allergy, it can have risks and things like that. There have been connections between Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a neurodegenerative condition, to even other types of neurological complications from getting the flu shot. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people will say, well, oh my God, Dr. Ernst, are you anti-flu shot? Well, here's the thing. I'm against you getting duped into something that A, doesn't work, B, makes you sicker, and C, can toxify and destroy your body. I'm against all of that. And unfortunately, the flu shot falls into that. What I'm more, I'll say, for is education. And here's the one thing I've learned. The more you learn about what the flu is and the more you learn about what the flu shot does, the less likely you are to get the shot and the less likely you are to get the flu because you know how to protect your body from colds and flus. What is a flu virus? Well, it's just that. It's a virus. So the question becomes this: does the flu virus give you the flu? Not always. And I want you to role play this analogy. If I have person A and their immune system is at 95% functional perfect, and I have person B and they are off on their diet, they're taking 5 medications, their gut's leaking, they're 55 pounds overweight, their immune system is weak, they're taking steroids, they have an autoimmune disease, and they have diabetes, and both of them get the flu physically injected into their arms, who's going to end up with the flu? Now, it depends upon your definition. Person A, who's 95% healthy, they're still going to have symptoms, okay? You can't not have a symptom from being infected. The only difference is the cough, the cold, the sniffles, the fever, the chills, the aches go away in like a day or two. Whereas person B, it could take them weeks to get over it. And they're going to struggle a lot because they're going to be complaining, oh, this and that. And they're going to go to their doctor and they're going to seek out their Tamiflus and they're going to look for all kinds of stuff. And you guys are texting in saying, where's the offers? That's cool. So my offer for you, look at all these texters. Did you guys hear them? Ding, ding, ding. Is let's strengthen your immune system this winter. Let's boost your energy through the roof this winter. Let's get you so strong that you don't have to worry about colds and flus and the whatever COVID they're going to come up with next. The Visicron, the Godzilla-ish versions, I don't know, whatever they come up with, you won't have to worry because you're going to go titanium immune system response. The event I'm hosting is December 10th. It's on boosting energy for vitality, essence, life, functionality, and immune strength. It's what you want. Trust me, you want that raw power of energy. And you can register by doing a couple things. Hey, look at the banners and the bars on our video streams. Just use the texts, connect with the links. And if you're listening old school on our podcast or the live stream audio or an original radio, like heaven forbid, right? I had somebody once say, oh my God, you actually are still on the radio? Of course, people listen to it. Pick up the phone and text the word energy, E-N-E-R-G-Y, of course. You could also just do N-R-G. We know what it means. Letter N, letter R, letter G to 704-906-2094. That's 704-906-2094. Guys, I've got an ebook on boosting energy free. And get this, you're going to be locked and loaded on the webinar that I'm doing on the 10th of December to show you how at the end of this year to crush your goals for next year with energy and vitality and essence and youthfulness, and you will be a walking antiviral, anti-flu machine. So again, that's 704-906-2094. Could you call it? Yes, I have a call center. Lovely people will pick up and ask you, what's your name, phone number, and email. Could you text the word energy and your name and your email? Save us some time, guys. Yes, 704-906-2094. So what causes this drop in our immune system during this time? We talked about the time change and the fact that the sun disappears, creates a version of seasonal aptitude depressional disorders because human beings like the light. And we don't like waking up to pitch black. Look at it be alive. Excuse me. And we don't like going to sleep in the pitch black. But all that lack of light plays around with our brain, plays around with our immune system. We don't get the vitamin D from the sun because we are above the sun belt, guys. It turns. The earth literally turns. That's why it gets colder. We shift away from the sun. And we also lose all those warm UVB rays, especially here in the Carolinas. Now, if you live in Ecuador, Costa Rica, you don't really have that problem so much. But the likelihood of you being there is pretty slim. The other thing that we talked about is this is the end of the barbecues of the summer and the beginning of the onslaughts of candy, cookies, cakes, pies, you name it, beverages, drinks. Don't even get me started on these pumpkin lattes that are like 17 candy bars liquefied, or all of the stuff that we justify using the phrase, it's the holidays. You know how many people have died physically, killed themselves internally, destroying their immune system because of saying, well, I had a fifth of Jack and five slices of pie because it's the holidays. Just watch out for that kind of stuff. Don't let an excuse like it's the holidays be a reason for just letting everything you gained all this year to be tossed out the window. I have people say, well, Dr. Ernst, I fell off the wagon. I'm like, I didn't know we were on a wagon in the first place. This is life. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I caved. No, you fell in a cave? Like, I don't understand. I caved. Well, I just decided not to eat the way you told me. Oh, well, now we're getting somewhere. You made a choice, and you chose to do what you did. Okay, it is what it is. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Back to your fasting, back to your intermittent dieting, back to following the food lists on our website, because remember, you are the doctor. You can do this. So we have Halloween candy, Thanksgiving pies, Christmas cookies, the candies of the New Year's, the drinks, the beverages, all the gunk that starts to come in. And here's the issue, guys. All this added refined carbohydrates feeds the yeast and bacteria in your gut, which damages your microbiome, and that causes a dysfunction in your immune system. There's no sort of like rhyme or reason around, well, it was an organic piece of sugary candy. It doesn't matter. Sugar. Well, you don't understand. This is my mom's pumpkin pie. Like, she's been making it this way since, the beginning of time. And it's full of wheat and gluten, and it's toasted marshmallows and banana cream with maple syrup and even just raw brown sugar dumped on top, flame torched and caramelized. Yeah, don't do it. Well, it's my mom. I think she'll understand when you say, Mom, I lost 40 pounds and I don't want to gain it back. Okay? If mom gets upset over you not eating her pie, that's mom's problem, not yours. Don't take your family's issues onto you just because it's the holidays. All right, I'm ruffling feathers, but guys, come on. It's one day. Thanksgiving's one day. Christmas is one day. New Year's is one day. Don't make 3 days turn into 90 days of sucking up and getting rid of your good results. Okay, so here are the other members of the perfect storm of immune destruction during the holidays. Stress. I don't know about you, but for some reason, as soon as Thanksgiving kicks in, it's like everybody's stressed out like crazy. Well, I got to get this gift for so-and-so, and I've got to do that, and I've got to host this party, and I've got to go to this, and I've got to do that, and my kids are doing that. Like, you're in control of your life, right? You don't have to do anything you don't want to. Stress is a productive mucosal barrier breakdown. Stress physically weakens the integrity of your membranes in your body and allows you to be more exposed to those viruses that have always been floating around. The flu didn't just wake up and go, oh man, it's November. I've been asleep for the last 9 months. Let's go wreak havoc on humanity. It's been there all along. It's you who did that. You went like this. I'm going to go to sleep on everything I did to get well from November to January. Like, who cares? Out the door. I deserve it. I've worked so hard for 9 months. I should be able to destroy myself for 3 and get back on the wagon again. Don't do it. Vitamin D deficiency. We talked about the weather's colder. It's darker more. This is the time now more than ever to boost your D3 intake. Be careful with a lot of vitamin D3s. Many are synthetic. The prescriptions are D2, which are fake, and you have to do it properly by either binding it to an oil-based carrier, olive oil, MCT oil, coconut oil, or using a really high, I'll call it quasi-prescriptive level of a vitamin D support. It is crucial for your immune system. You can't survive without it, and it protects you against viruses, including the flu and COVID. Okay, so sleep. Listen, when you're stressed out, it's hard to sleep. And when you don't sleep, you don't regenerate. And especially during this time, people struggle, mostly because of the time change and because we're just so irritatingly stressed out. The holidays are a time that many of us push our boundaries and our barriers. We work longer. We add hours to our day. We literally get second jobs just to cover the expenses sometimes of the holidays. And so we wreak havoc on our quality of sleep. Lack of sleep efficiency has been shown to destroy your immune system. So studies show that if you lose one night's sleep where you're getting 7 to 8 hours of rest, you can destroy your immune system with just 30%. Did you hear the impact of that? So if last night you're like, man, I only got 5 hours of sleep, you just dropped your immune system. Well, I had a really busy day, so I stayed up. I pulled an all-nighter to get this work done. You just destroyed your immune system. Sleep is one of the most vital, regenerative things you can do because, remember, when you sleep is when you heal. So A, if you're not sleeping well, you're not healing well. B, if you're not sleeping properly, you're not healing properly, and we just need to get more sleep. So watch this. How is the immune system connected to your tissues and your organs? And what can you do to boost it so that you don't have to worry? Not only is it the flu season, if you're over 50, 60-ish, it's the shingles pneumonia season for shots as well, just so you guys know. It's almost as if they're like, we haven't gone after this group of baby boomers in a while. They had their original vaccines when they were toddlers, and then by 5 or 6, they were done with their boosters. And it's been 48 years, and we've never gotten any money from them for a vaccine. So what can we do? Let's get together and figure out, what do older adults get? Well, I had shingles last week, and it was misery. Like, man, everything burned and itched, and it went away on its own in like 14 days, but I really didn't like it. Oh, well, that's a virus. Everybody believes viruses cause disease, so we could tell them that you've been harboring this virus for years, and it's going to wake up and come out and go and get you unless you're vaccinated. You see it? Oh, pneumonia, a bacterial infection that kills a lot of Americans when they're older because their immune systems are weak and they get pneumonia in their lungs and it goes into their blood and you can become septic and die. Guys, it's legit. It's real. So do we have a pneumonia vaccine? No, we don't. Well, hey, that would be a good one. And who gets pneumonia a lot? Old people. Hey, guess what? We now have 2 vaccines we can go after the elderly with. And because they don't remember anything from the past about, being unindoctrinated into anti-medicine techniques, they haven't had the functional people come after them. They're the original ones who, whatever my doctor says is what I'm going to do. They'll easily buy into this free vaccine junk. So we got the flu for them, we've got the shingles for them, and we've got the pneumonia for them. Be careful. Again, remember, if you don't know why the cheese is free on a trap and you're a mouse, you're going to get the bite. And so if you don't know why the vaccines are free and you're in that age group, you're going to get the bite. Whoops, there goes my screen protector. How fun is that? Okay, so am I anti-vax? No, I'm pro-decision and pro-choice. Listen, it's your body, it's your health, it's your decision. But there's one thing I've learned. When you figure out what the underlying reason for these vaccines is, and you see what they do to you, flu shots, pneumonia shots, shingles shots, they're all part of a scheme to make you weaker, make you sicker, make more money, because notice you got to get them over and over and over and over and over again. Your immune system is a massively interconnected network of organs that you can't just stimulate by squirting something in your arm. Oh, but Dr. Ernst, you don't understand. They're giving me an attenuated virus that my body's going to naturally adapt to and produce antibodies. Yeah, sure. Go just inhale the virus by yourself. I don't know about you, but viruses don't just get injected straight into your arm in nature. It's not like you walked around and some guy's like, my name is Mr. Virus Inoculator, and there's your virus for the day. No, you inhale viruses. Mucosal membranes in your nose and mouth are designed to create secretory IgA, which is an immunoglobulin that you do not get when you are vaccinated because it's not mucosal, it's blood. And IgA is a primer for your immune system. This immune brain access is exactly like it sounds. Your brain is connected to your nerve system and connected to your immune system such that, listen to this, the Journal of Neuroimmunology found that your cerebellum, the back of your brain, plays a substantial role in helping you to produce immune antibodies. Another study in the Journal of Nuclear Medicine found that when you brain map, the cerebellum is activated in people who are infected because your brain makes antibodies for you. If you inhale a virus the right way. Now, if you walk up to said pharmacist and say, I don't want to get said cold, so can you just, give it right here, and they shove it into your arm, it goes into the muscles and the blood system, and you have just bypassed your neural endocrine indicator. There's no IgA antibody production. It goes straight to the IgM, and IgM is immediate. It's an immediate reaction. And then you're technically slightly sick, infected, producing an immune response, and they'll say, oh, yeah, it's normal. It's boosting your immune system. But see, you skipped it. It's like going to step 3 without doing 1 and 2. Imagine getting an IKEA piece of furniture and being like, well, the first 2 pages are out. Let's just jump straight to page 3. And you're like, well, where's that part? I don't know, just make it up. That's what it's like to get boosted for your immune system. Remember, there's also your gut-brain axis in your immune system. So the communication between your microbiome and your brain is equally as important for boosting your immune system. So if you're getting jabbed with viruses to produce vaccine responses and getting immunoglobulins that way, it never got in your gut. It never got in your mucosal membranes. It bypassed neuroendocrine and enteroendocrine processing. And that's why the response is only short-lived, and you got to keep getting it over and over. And that works really well, just so you know, for a subscription model for disease. Did you hear it? Subscription, prescription model. Yeah. You're going to need this every year because it wore off last year. Oh, and by the way, it mutates every year, so we're really good. We'll pick 3 of 200 and we'll protect you. I'm sorry, but once you know the data, you're going to run as far as you can from that. So if 80% of your immune system is found in your gut and you have a nerve immune connection, I think you can see the easiest way to boost and get rid of the flu this season is become educated. Now, this is why I'm highly recommending, I'm going to take a moment for this, that you pick up the phone now and you text the word energy to 704-906-2094 because on December 10th at 10 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to host a free webinar and I'm going to teach you how to boost your immune system, how to boost your energy, how to turn your system on so well that you would fight back from anything, from viruses, from parasites, from infections, from mold, from whatever you guys deal with, you can fight back. So the ebook on how to do this is free. The webinar itself is free, and you're going to need to text. Like, take a moment, pick up the phone, 704-906-2094. Just do it. Trust me, just do it. See, look there, somebody just texted. There they are. Look at how fast the texts come in. You guys are amazing. 704-906-2094. It's the ebook on boosting energy and your immune system. It's the event that I'm hosting on the 10th of December. And guys, it's all free. 704-906-2094. Or take a peek. I think it's like somewhere around here where there will be a banner that says how to do that. Okay, how do we beat down the flu and the cold season? Step number 1, there is no season to begin with. It's kind of like the old phrase, how do I think outside of the box? Well, you realize there's no box, so there's no thinking outside of it. So is there a cold and flu season? No. There's the holiday season where you destroy your immune system. You wreak havoc on the ability for you to fight back viruses naturally because you've destroyed your immune system. You're not sleeping well. You're not taking your vitamin D. You're partying like crazy, carbing it up, and you're not doing the things that I'm going to teach you today, because I don't walk around going, well, from November to January, I got to really watch out. I might get attacked by viruses. So if you really want to do it, step number 1 is recognizing there is no such thing as the cold and flu season. That's a lie that you've been taught because it makes sense for you to say, well, I guess I'll go get those shots. Okay, number 2, when you're sick with a virus, the best thing you can do is let it run its path naturally. If you fight a virus back by making the symptoms go away, taking this for your fever, taking this for your aches, or taking this for that, and trying to shorten the duration of that virus, you just push the virus back inside of your body. You have to let your immune system go through the process. And just like everything else, if you haven't done this in a while, it is really difficult the first time. Oh, you mean I got to deal with these symptoms for like 7 to 9 days? Yeah, your immune system's weak. It's going to take that long. But the second time you get another cold or flu or whatever, it only takes 3, 4, or 5 days. And the third time it takes 1 or 2 days. And the fourth time it takes 1 day. And the fifth time it takes less than a day. And the sixth time it takes less than a day. And the seventh time, do you see where I'm going with this? It takes less than a day. So you have to prepare your immune system. I know this sounds like mundane advice, but get rest. The reason that you feel like crap when you have a cold is because your body's literally hormonally signaling you to slow down, stop eating, and sleep. So just listen to this, the innate wisdom of your body. Slow down, stop eating, sleep. Most people who are sick, they really don't want to keep stuff down. And when they eat food, they usually throw it up because their body's like, what the heck are you doing? We are fasting and we're getting this out of you. They're usually tired because their body's like, hey, listen, if you sleep, we can do this for you. We can heal you. But you guys all do, I'm going to caffeinate it up and I'm going to put the toothpicks on my eyes because I have to go to work. I have to go through it. And you neglect the natural healing process in your body. Again, I know this sounds like mundane advice, but drink plenty of water when you are sick. Because if you're fighting a cold or a flu, the easiest thing you can do is flush the virus out. Be careful with drinking Gatorades and sports drinks and all this stuff, thinking that that's going to get you well. It's got a lot of sugar and they're very toxic. Okay, so water. If you need to take some vitamin C, eat an orange, use a vitamin C supplement, take your vitamin D. And let's focus now on the immunosupportive nutrients. Okay, number 1, fat-soluble vitamin D. It's an immunomodulator, stimulator of your immune system. Almost every cell in your body, including your white blood cells and your red blood cells, have a vitamin D receptor. So we want to take the D so we can activate the cells. Did you also know that your white blood cells have a vitamin C receptor, and vitamin C stimulates white blood cell production? This is why a lot of people say that when you're sick, you need to take a lot of vitamin C, because it physically does turn your white blood cells on. But there was a recent study, I think they published this in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, that showed if you eat 4 grams of sugar, which is not very much, it'll shut off those white blood cells for up to 4 hours. And no matter how much vitamin C you pour on that white blood cell, it's tapped out for 4 hours. So do you see why the holiday season is so dangerous? I have a sugary beverage drink, pumpkin spice latte, whatever for breakfast. And I have some pumpkin muffin for, a snack. And I have this heavily laden, glucose, gluten meal for lunch. And then I have pumpkin pie and whatever for dinner with candied yams. And you see where I'm going with this? It's just hour after hour ping against your white blood cells. They wake up, ping. They wake up, ping. They wake up, ping. Sugar shuts your white blood cells off for 4 hours. So if you're constantly eating foods that are high in sugar, carbs, gluten, and all that stuff, you're destroying your white blood cells. Vitamin C cannot wake up a asleep white blood cell. Sleepy from sugar. So does vitamin C help with antioxidants, colds, and flus? Yes, if you're not eating tons of sugar. Another one is vitamin A. Not enough people give this thing credit for what it can do, but it is a crucial immune enhancer in that it protects both the cellular and what's known as the humoral immune response. So your cells have their own immune system just like your body does. Vitamin A promotes the development of antibodies, and it also specializes and produces these things called natural killer cells. And the NK cells are the ones you guys want, okay? You want these. They go around and they attack viruses, bacteria, and they're even associated with decreasing risks for autoimmune diseases. So vitamin A is a huge immune stabilizer. Zinc, you guys may remember back in the COVID era, everybody was like, oh my God, I got to take zinc, 50 milligrams of zinc day after day after day after day. In fact, vitamin D and zinc has been shown to decrease your chances of even getting any viral infection. And there's a study, I'm going to let you look this one up, that says if your D3 levels are north of 50 nanograms per deciliter when you get a vitamin D test, and your zinc is in an optimal level on a mineral test, you literally cannot die from the COVID virus. Now, not that many people are having COVID issues anymore. It is really, in my opinion, come and gone. It's always going to be here, and they're always going to try to dupe you into getting something for it. But if you had high vitamin D and high zinc, the studies we're doing now showed those are the people that survived and had no major problems. In functional medicine, zinc is extremely important in that it is an immune modulator. It can increase your immune system when it's needed, or it can decrease it when it's needed. Metabolic demand for these nutrients increases during an infection. So you need more zinc and more vitamin A and more vitamin C and more vitamin D and more rest and more water. Do you see it? We talk in the chiropractic profession, you better turn your nerve system on when you want to fight a virus because your brain is directly connected to your immune system. It used to be that years and years and years of medicine would say your brain doesn't have anything to do with your immunity. There's no brain cells of immunity. There's not even a lymphatic system within your brain. And then we got deeper into our ability to dissect and we went, oh my God, there's actually special white blood cells just for the brain. Special lymphatics just for the brain. So we had to throw all of our textbooks away and open up new ones and go, oh, the brain is actually an immune organ. It produces antibodies. Like, how crazy is it to think that we would ever say, your brain doesn't do something? Because your brain is your highest, most vital organ. It runs every square inch of your body, and it gets into your body through the use of your brain stem and spinal cord. And the spinal cords are the bones that wrap around, the spinal bones, your vertebra, wrap around the spinal cord and protect it. So if you have a chiropractic issue with an alignment problem, it means your immune system is out of alignment and you can be more likely to get infections, etc. I don't know if you guys know this, but talking about the flu, back in the big flu, I think it was 1912, the pandemic that wiped out 25, 30, 40%. I should have looked it up. Big flu pandemic, right? I think it's 1912 or 1918. Someone's going to fix it and correct me in the comments, right? There's my YouTube camera. There's my Facebook camera. Someone's going to say, Dr. Ernst, it was 19, it was this many percentage. Just correct me and let me see what it is. But watch this. The people that got chiropractic care, and by the way, it was around in the 1900s, during this pandemic had a much lower death rate and a higher survival rate than those people who sought medicinal care. And this was a major issue. I think more people died in the Spanish flu pandemic of 19 whenever than all of COVID, which was a pandemic. But the issue here is the research shows chiropractic care can boost your immune system and can help you to fight back from the flu. So if it can do the flu, can it do the rhinovirus, the standard sniffle cold flu? Of course it can. If it can do the flu, can it do, things like coronavirus? Of course it can. But we need to make sure we're supporting all avenues. So if you don't have a structural chiropractor that you work with, I highly recommend you find one. Here's what structural chiropractors will do. When you arrive, they're not going to ask you, how do you feel? Now they might on their paperwork, but then they come in and be like, so where does your pain today? Is it in your neck, back, your low back, your sacrum? Is it in your tailbone or your feet or your toes? They want to know where it is, but they're not seeking pain to treat the pain. A structural chiropractor is going to say, All right, whoa. You can have no pain and have a spinal problem, or you can have a lot of pain and you definitely have a spinal problem. So we want to look at you from a functional perspective. Is your spine working or not? And here's the crazy thing. Pain doesn't tell us if it's working. Just because you're pain-free doesn't mean it's working. Just because you have a lot of pain doesn't mean it's perfect. So we got to be really careful here. So a structural chiropractor is going to do functional tests like thermography, where they look to see how much irritation, swelling, and damage is there in your spinal system. They're going to take x-rays to look at the alignment, check every bone, every joint, all of them. If there's all cylinders firing properly, if the spine is aligned and the nerves are perfect and the brain is healthy and there's no heat signatures, you'll get a green light to say, hey, your neuroendocrine system is working perfectly. So then what do we do? Okay, so my nerve system's perfect. Now what? Well, let's make sure your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients are on par. How long has it been since you've had a vitamin D test? Have you ever been tested for vitamin A, zinc, selenium, vitamin C, etc.? There are simple tests, guys, that can look for these vitamins and minerals. And if you're deficient, what do we do in functional medicine? Oh, it's time to get your shot. No, let's boost your immune system, get your spine corrected, make sure your zinc, vitamin A, D, and C is balanced, and you're now 2 steps ahead of the curve instead of being under the curve. Then we start chatting with you guys about the stuff that you all love, right? Got to cut out the grains and the sugars in the processed wheat and processed sugars. When you're sick, you might not have an appetite at all because your body knows you need to fast to heal. Period. Studies show that high blood sugar levels will suppress your immune system. We talked about it before. It only takes 4 grams of sugar to knock your white blood cells out. They literally look drunk on a live microscopy. And here's what I mean by drunk. Here's a virus that we see on microscopic blood exam. Here's your white blood cell swimming, and it's kind of like this. It's like banging into things, and it sees it, and it's like, and it just walks right past the virus. They look drunk when you have consumed sugar. We also know that sugar is a pro-inflammatory, mucosal weakening, nutrient defying. Sugar's an anti-nutrient. It sucks nutrients out of you. And as a result, we start to see effects where the immune system drops. So what do we do now? How do we boost this? Well, number 1, there is no flu season. It's a figment of your own imagination. It's been implanted in there because of big pharma, medicine, and all the commercials, and even mom and dad and all the stuff you've believed in the past. Number 2, there's no such thing as a flu season. I just mentioned it to you again, right? It's actually a holiday season where we're eating high amounts of carbs, drinking lots of alcohol, not getting the sun, and not getting the rest we need to support our immune system. Number 3, check your major system. Recent research is showing your brain is connected to your immune system. So if you have a neural endocrine breakdown, it means you can't secrete antibodies to protect against viruses. Chiropractic care, when done properly using structural approaches, subluxation-based, it means to look for alignment issues that cause lack of good light. Lux is light, sub is less. Ation would be a collection of or a group of. If you have less power flowing through a nerve, that's subluxation. It's the medical term. And you got to get rid of them. So find out if you have them. Well, how would I know, Dr. Ernst? Does my back hurt and that mean I have them? If your back hurts, you definitely have them. Well, I'm pain-free. Does that mean I'm free from them? No. So that's the conundrum. So you have to get checked. Thermography of your spine, x-rays of your spine. Look, you guys do this for your teeth sometimes 2 or 3 times a year because you think these things are more important than this frame. So just make sure you get the right checkups done, okay? Are we saying you need a chiropractor under your belt for your wealth and your health and your well-being? Yeah. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your money to the pharmaceutical industries and to the drugs and the surgeries and the procedures you've had. You're going to lose your health and your well-being because it doesn't come from the outside. Now, can we do some things to naturally stimulate your immune system? Yes. Okay, so we sleep better, we hydrate better, we get adjusted, and then we start using some supplements that have been shown to physically enhance immune function. Now, these I'm going to list for you are not the commons. You're not going to go, oh my gosh, I've heard all about these, because I want to give you the ones that no one's talking about. Number 1, astragalus. It supports an immune response between both Th1 and Th2 immunity, which means it produces the correct immune response when you need it. There is a different style of immunity based upon how your body is exposed to an antigen or a virus or bacteria. Astragalus has been shown to decrease the frequency and the severity of the flu in both adults and children. So astragalus is a very simple, easy herbal supplement you can get. Echinacea. Now you might be thinking like, I thought that was more for like pain and issues like that. But it is an herbal remedy that can be helpful against skin and sinus infections, as well as the common cold. Listen to this. In one study, researchers found that every single strain of the virus, all 200 flu viruses, were very sensitive to an echinacea tincture, whereas the flu shot only picks 3, maybe 4 strains total. So remember, there's roughly 200 known different flus. And we reach into a bag and we pick 4 and say, here's this year's flu shot. But astragalus is like, I could care less which one you pick. They're sensitive to me. The flu hates astragalus and echinacea. Echinacea is an herbal tincture that when used properly can literally fight against the flu by creating antiviral properties within the body. Echinacea has been shown to shorten the duration and the intensity of the flu, no matter what strain it is. That's huge. Okay, now something you could do to daily protect yourself is wash the insides of your sinuses. Okay, look, you wash your hands multiple times a day, correct? You brush your teeth multiple times a day. You wash your skin sometimes at least once, if not multiple times a day. But how many times have you washed the inside of your nose? Okay, most people never do this. Now, I'm not talking about neti pots, because the problem with a neti pot is it's like, go try to do this, right? Looks like a teapot. You jam it up your nose, and you have to lean sideways, and before you know it, everything falls over your face. It makes an absolute mess. It's disgusting, and everything leaks out. So instead of doing a neti pot, get what's known as a sinus rinse. And there's 2 versions of this. There's manual, which is honestly like it's just a bottle with an adapter that fits inside your nose. And you squeeze it and it irrigates your nose using a warm saline solution. And out the other side comes all the gunk. Why would I want to do this? Viruses like the flu are inhaled, typically they're airborne. So a dirty sinus pathway that's all clogged and congested can't produce the IgA antibodies that we need to make the immune response. So if we clean our sinuses out, it does a couple things. It helps us to breathe easier, number 1. Number 2, it removes all the mucus and the excess allergens and stuff that's stuck in the nasal pathways. Number 3, it alleviates the pressure and the irritation that a lot of you get. Number 4, it can improve your sense of smell and taste because you're washing your nose. I mean, go figure, right? Now, there is this new thing, I think it's called a nasal irrigator, that you kind of put 2 little prongs in each of your nose nostrils, and it's a machine, and you kind of lean over the sink, you push a button, and it goes, and it's physically washing your sinuses. I like that one too. That one's like $99, but it's doing it all for you. And the sinus rinse that's manual is like, I don't know, $19. And all you do is warm up some water, pour a buffered saline solution into it, stick it into one nose nostril, lean over the sink, close the back of your throat so you don't swallow the solution, and you irrigate your nose, and out comes the crud. The other one, the nasal irrigator, will do it all for you. So you put the left one and the right one in, you push a button, and it goes, and it washes your nose out. I know it sounds like, just simple advice, but I'm telling you, usually the simplest things give you the strongest effect, and the most complicated things give you the tiniest effect. So get the basics under your belt. Probiotics are also a really important thing to do now, but I got to get you the skinny on probiotics. You really only want to take them for a 2-week window and then take a break for 2 weeks. Take them for 2 weeks, take a break for 2 weeks. Take them for 2 weeks, take a break for 2 weeks. Because the issue with probiotics is if you overburden your gut by taking daily probiotics, you're going to create a lawn of disarray of overgrown bacteria. Look, this is why I'm surprised I haven't seen any texts. It's really important that you learn how to become your own doctor and you learn the information that we're showing you, because everything I'm teaching you guys is peer-reviewed, published, research-backed, and has more than 15 years of clinical expertise in delivery in the clinics that I have here in Charlotte. It works. So if you want to learn more right now, now's the time to pick up the phone and text 704-906-2094. I've got less than 15 minutes before they kick me off the airways today. Look, I could talk for hours about this stuff. It's a passion of mine. I love teaching people how to heal, but I want to know more about you and you, the listeners that are listening today. What's going on in your world, in your life? Do you struggle with constant flu and cold and infections? Hey, that's the time to text 704-906-2094. Grab our ebook and come to the event December 10th. I'm going to teach you how to boost your energy, boost your immunity, and change your life. Maybe you're going, yeah, but Dr. Ernst, you don't understand. I don't have energy problems. I have whatever. I've got diabetes. I have acid reflux. I have indigestion. I've got psoriasis. I have MS. I have ALS. I have Parkinson's. I've got dementia. I don't even remember what I have because I can't remember what I have. Well, you can connect with us. Again, on the live stream, you'll see there's consultations we offer that are free. But the most important thing is I need to somehow figure out what's going on with your life. And guys, we do this for free. All right. So the phone calls are free. The webinars are free. The ebooks are free. I don't know how much else to say to you than free. But remember, the free cheese that we don't know why it's free gets us the bait of the bite of the trap. But I'm telling you why this is free. Because who else is going to do this for you? Okay. It doesn't cost me anything to teach you how to get well, but you get the benefit and the gain out of all of it. So it's a win-win for both of us. Some of you will decide to use us for professional coaching, counseling, health effects, etc. Bravo. But many of you will say, oh my gosh, I've never seen this information before and I'm ready to make a change in my life, but you have to get it in your hands. There is no bite with this one. It's just information to change your life. 704-906-2094. Text your name and the word energy, and we'll get you registered for the event. We'll get you the free ebook, and you can start changing your life now. So another thing we can start doing is working on the components of anti-inflammation. All right. So the Journal of Preventive Medicine found that there can be a 40% decrease in respiratory infections if you are not inflamed. And the challenge with inflammation is all of us have a small degree of it, but some of you have a lot of it because it's based upon your diet and based upon the supplements you take and based upon the kind of life that you live. If you're highly toxic and your gut's leaking and you're eating American standard diets, corn and rice and oats and, dairy and fat-free foods and high processed foods, you are inflamed, period. Some things you can do to start decreasing your inflammation. Let's start getting the natural anti-inflammatory herbs in your diet. Both ginger and cinnamon have the ability to decrease inflammation and are also at the same time antiviral. The next time you go to the grocery store, pick up a knob of ginger. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can juice it and do ginger shots. That's going to put hair on the back of your chest, though, because man alive, is that stuff spicy. Something that I do is I juice the ginger. I keep it in a mason jar, and I add that ginger juice to sparkling carbonated mineral water. You just made your own little ginger ale, which you can add stevia to if you want. You can even ferment that ginger juice and make a fermented ginger drink out of it. Hey, go to AskDrErnst.com, click on the recipes section, go to fermented foods, and you've got some recipes there on how to do that. Did you know that ginger has been shown to prevent human respiratory syncytial virus, or HRSV? It is one of the major viruses that attacks the airways and causes you to have scratchy throats and runny nose and congested lungs. This is likely due to the fact that ginger has a terpenol called gingerol and the various flavonoids, which will be antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. Again, juice the ginger, take a shot. make a tea out of grabbing a cheese grater or a microplaner and pulp out that ginger and stir into some warm water and strain it. You can even slice the ginger and put into various recipes to add some sort of a ginger flavor to it. Cinnamon is another good one that I wanted to share with you today because not only can it help to be antiviral, but it also helps to lower blood sugar, which will boost your immune system. Cinnamon can help blood sugar levels decrease because it has the ability to activate the insulin receptor, and cinnamon physically enhances the metabolic conversion of sugar into energy. But one study found out that the cinnamon powder and oil is a natural H7N3. Now remember, this kind of H number, N number is the strain and size of the flu particle. Remember, there's 200 of them. So H7N3 has been shown specifically to be blocked by cinnamon. You can use cinnamon as a tea. You can shave it down again with a microplaner and get the powder and put it into yogurt or into some sort of coffee or a beverage. You can infuse your teas with ginger sticks, etc. And again, it helps to lower blood sugar and helps to boost your immune response, and it's naturally antiviral. Okay, so I've got 8 minutes, and what I want to do now is a call to action for our event and give you a summary as we finish out our show today. So on December 10th, which is coming up in a couple weeks, I'm hosting the Carolina Energy Immune Summit. The last summit I did was a couple weeks ago. It was our Heart Summit. 400 people came to this thing. Online, it's virtual, and I'd like to invite you to this event. So here's what I would recommend. I'm going to give away a bunch of stuff for free to kind of tease you and get you started. I have an ebook called Energy Heal Thyself. So we want to get your energy up, which boosts your immune system and helps your body to start lifting itself. The ebook is free. It has all of the things you need to become more energized and more immunized this winter. You can text your name and your email to this number, 704-906-2094. And all we need is just that. Text energy, your name, and your email. Boom, and it's yours. On the 10th of December at 10 a.m. in the morning, I'll come straight into your house through your computer screens, open it up, and there I am. It's a live, interactive webinar. But I don't even like to use a webinar because technically it's more like a workshop or a master class. Let's learn how to be healthy and strong. Let's show you what you can do and not do to have tremendous amounts of energy and immune response because you have the power to do that. The event is free. It is 10 a.m. and it's 704-906-2094 to register for that. And again, I would highly recommend you do it. So in summary, is there a flu season? No. Are you being advertised to and duped into thinking there's a flu season? Yes. Is it the equivalent of a mousetrap baited with cheese? Yes. If you don't know why the cheese is free, you'll take it and then you get the bite. If you don't know why those vaccines are free, you'll take them and you'll get the bite. And the bite is not healing from the flu and a reduction and destruction of your immune response. Am I an anti-vaxxer? No. I'm pro-choice in that you should choose based upon what you now know. I'll tell you my issue here. 16 years being a clinical practitioner, all these years helping people, I have learned that the flu shot is toxic, just outright. And it bypasses the natural immune response the way God intended you to get exposed to and fight the flu. It's an airborne virus. It's not delivered through a shot into your muscles and into your bloodstream. It breaks down quickly when done that way because it stimulates the wrong immune process. Now, it's an immune system response, so are they correct? Are they correct when they say we're stimulating your immune system? Yeah, but they're only doing a portion of it. They're not teaching you have this entire innate immune response, IgA, IgM, IgG, antibody productions. You only get the real effects when you let it do it by itself. We know the flu season falls in the wintertime, not because it's cold out and because the flu is like, oh, I'm done hibernating from the summer. No, it's because we destroy our immune system with lack of sun, lack of sleep, lack of vitamin D, too much sugar, too much alcohol, and too much stress. Period. November, December, January, that's when we go crazy. So what can you do? Well, you can become aware of that. Recognize there was never a box. You don't have to think outside of it. There was never a flu season, so get over it. And recognize you're the one causing the season of destruction to your immune response. Now it should set you free. I have the power within myself. I can choose to live that way, or I can choose to live this way. I choose the road less traveled, like Robert Frost said. I choose to not vaccinate because I know that it's not the way to get the proper immune response. This is me now. You have to make that call, and so do you, YouTube. You guys have to make the call on what are you going to do. Now, I would personally say, let's boost the immune system. And the immune system is made of every single square inch of your body. Your brain is your immune system. Your sinus is your immune system. Your lungs are your immune system. Your liver is your immune system. Your skin's your immune system. Your blood is your immune system. Your gut's your immune system. You see where I'm going with this? So let's ask a simple question. What one system runs all other systems? The nerve system. Oh, Dr. Ernst, you have to talk about chiropractic. It's not chiropractic, guys. It's just the truth of the anatomy of the human body. If your brain is flowing freely down your spinal cord and over the nerves to all parts of your body, they work, thus your immune system works. This is why chiropractors traditionally see people and their patients not getting sick as often as those who don't get it. So wake up and ask yourself, are you under the right kind of immunological care? Do you go to someone who gives you an adjustment to boost your immune system rather than a shot to boost it? That's your call. You get to decide. Okay? Just because you see a chiropractor doesn't mean your spine is working perfectly, so be very careful. A lot of them out there, they rack and crack, and they don't ever reset the spine. So make sure you're visiting a structural chiropractor. How would I know if I'm seeing a structural chiropractor? Great question. Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. Well, number one, they care more about subluxation than your pains. Number two, they use thermography and x-rays before and during and after to determine if your spine is responding and getting well. Then we can start using our nutrients. We can do astragalus, we can do vitamin A, we can do zinc, we can do vitamin D, we can do echinacea, but we have to lower our sugars during the holiday season. Remember, your fork and what you have at the end of it is a better predictor of your likelihood of getting sick this season than your age, your genetics, or anything else. If there's pumpkin pies and candied yams and toasted marshmallows and, I don't know, pecan pies and whatever else, Christmas cookies and pumpkin lattes, and all of that is going to make your immune system go like this. And how many punches in the face can you take until you tap out? Your immune system is the same way. Every 4 grams of direct sugar going into you is 4 hours of snoozed white blood cells. So if you want to have that candy cake pie and whatever, know that for 4 hours you're more likely to get sick, and that you should recover yourself for 16 hours to try to recover those 4 hours of sickness. Okay, does that mean I don't have fun during the holidays? Guess what? I do, but I choose to do it the way that I teach our patients. Hey, if you want some information on how to survive the holidays, head on over to AskDrErnst.com. Type in Thanksgiving, type in Christmas, type in New Year's, and we've got some guides for you, including menus, recipe packs, holiday survival tips. It's all free on our .com. And now's the time for me to do one last throw-out offer. The ebook on energy and immunity is free. The webinar, which I will call Masterclass Workshop, is on the 10th of December, which is right around the corner. 704-906-2094. Again, text the word energy, your name, and your email. A lot of you are sending over just the word energy. I mean, we're going to respond back and ask you for your name and your email, but save the time and send the name and the email now. 704-906-2094. Don't forget, somewhere right around here-ish or there-ish is how you can subscribe to our channels. YouTube, thanks for being here. We have a special camera just for our YouTubers today. Facebook, love it. And if you're listening on our podcast, the airways, or wherever, thank you for giving me the hour to teach you how to be well and heal. It's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free when you become the own doctor. And I want to honor the fact that you gave me the time. We'll see you guys next week. Until then.